Shalom and greetings to you all. Well, this is a special day and a special year. In fact, it only comes once every 4 years. There's an extra day. Now, what could you do with one day more? Assuming, of course, you're not in Les Mis. Would you lead life differently? What would you do then that you do not do now? Would you do anything different? Why? If you look it up, you'll be told a leap year is a calendar year which contains an extra day. Does it really? Aren't there 24 hours in every day? Did someone sneak an extra 24 hours in when you weren't looking? What about the Hebrew leap year? It is another month. Did somebody stick a second Pisces in when you weren't looking? Friends, the things we tell ourselves. And what about how every 100 years we skip a leap year unless the year is divisible by 400? Who invented these things? And did you also know that people born in a leap year are called leaplings? Did you care what they were called? So why this fascination with an extra day? Well, we do this to synchronize man-made time with God-made time. See, God's time has the earth orbit the sun in 365 and a quarter days. And it is that quarter of a day, that 0.25, that does this. You know, we didn't set up a clock to measure it, so every 4 years we have to adjust. Every year we had that quarter day that you don't really see, so every 4 years we have this full day. So no, there really isn't a sudden new 24 hours. It's just us thinking that we're smart. If I could save time in a bottle, the first thing I'd like to do is to save every day till eternity passes away, just to spend them with you. Now, let's save those days and think about what you'll do when you get that extra 24 hours 4 years from now. And let's take the time now, us as a group of like-minded, like-souled fellows seeking unification of spirit, not in a religious sense, but as kind, caring human beings exhibiting that collective consciousness of seekers who come together in a showing of faith, of love, a community, a chavura fellowship, expressing our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes that unites us all in this community house of spirit, Beth Ruach, sharing and bringing light and keeping fear at bay. So once again, please do go ahead and invite everybody you know, physically, psychically, emotionally, or spiritually, to gather and share from Psalm 133, the Hine Matov. Come together. Hine Matov. Hine Matov. How good, how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community. 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 Together. Let's all spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the entire world, my friends. Remember, this is your setting aside a little bit of sacred time in your own sacred space to honor and converse with whoever, whatever you happen to believe in. It's a part of your kavanah, your intention that you put out to the universe. It is your goodwill. And don't forget, we have coming up our festival of Purim. You know, it's we're going to talk a little bit about it very shortly. You know, so start to think about what's going to be taking place. But let's take some time now to send some extra light and candle lighting, you know, when you get a chance, for anybody who you lost or anybody who, you know, you're thinking of, because we want to elevate the souls of all the people around us. Let them know you're thinking of them. You know, take some time, send light, healing to whoever you know that needs it. It's goodwill, and that invokes renewal for everybody. It floats through space, finding those in need. So send it out. For those you know, for the souls and spirits of everybody you know, and everybody you love. So think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love, or just goodwill. Use this extra day of the year just to send out love and goodwill. Focus on them. Call their names. It's not just for people. It's for our pets. It's for the earth. It is the healing of the world. The tikkun olam. It's part of our spiritual genetic makeup. Let's send thoughts and energy for health and renewal for everybody in need, for those in our hearts and our minds, for Elaine and Dan, for Ben and Bob, for David, for Frank, for Tally, for the bee. Friends, it is the kindness, the healing wishes. It's the goodwill and love we all send out. It circles the world finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care, because the world is a world of spirit, and spirit, my friends, never dies. Avotenu Makor HaBracha Mimotenu, may the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage, make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body, the renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Mishaberach. May he who bless. Let's all have our spirits renewed, my friends. It's the great prayer for healing, which we call upon God to heal as he has healed before. Okay, let's send and receive healing and renewal energy in our efforts to love, to share, to care, to grow. Okay, now as I said, we're coming up, just a little over a week away from Purim. And I do want to remind you now, so you can keep in mind when it occurs, that for Purim there are 4 mitzvahs, or laws, or good deeds, it's all the same word, to be performed. Now the first is to perform the acts of tzedakah, which is charity and kindness. Give gifts to the less fortunate. The second is to honor the appointed time. It's the 14th of Adar, Pisces, as the book of Esther tells us, and we're to remember the days of Purim for all generations. The third thing is to hear the Megillah read, the whole Megillah. Now the Megillah, of course, is the scroll or book of Esther. That's what Megillah means. We've made it into something else, but it's really just a scroll. And I'll be reading it, and it is on our YouTube channel, so you can go and listen or watch anytime you'd like. Hey, you don't even have to wait for Purim. It really is a fantastic story, and it's a story that's very important to share with people. The fourth thing is to enjoy a holiday meal. It's celebratory. So have a fantastic time, and it is one of those holidays where you're actually expected to become inebriated. If so, my friends, do not drive, be responsible, take an Uber. Now, of course, it's technically a minor holiday, but culturally, it's a major holiday, even though not a biblical holiday. And it celebrates an interesting thing. It celebrates a genocide, but it celebrates a genocide that failed. And there are at least 2 great Purim movies that I can think of that are always worth watching, just to get you in the holiday spirit. And we'll be hosting a Purim function. It's the Jewish Halloween, when you put on a costume and you get to show the world who you really are. All right, so, it's like 10 days away, so start thinking about it now. Now, this week we take a brief break from the covenant code that we started to get a list of instructions for construction. Construction of the most amazing thing in biblical archaeology, the tabernacle, as we read terumah, donations. Now, these donations are special. They're for sacred purposes. Exodus 25:1. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, speak to the Israelites, that they take me a donation from every man as his heart may urge him. Now, people only have to give if they're individually moved to do so. What do they need these donations for? Well, it's for the creation of the tabernacle and all the accoutrements of worship. Now, the Hebrew terumah is a noun derived from a verb that means to elevate. And among several biblical terms for gift, it is the one that designates a donation for use in the cult or by the priests. So this verse inaugurates an elaborate catalog of instructions about the design of the tabernacle and its furnishings. And so the type of donation is a sacred donation because it's elevated. And they shall make me a tabernacle, that I may abide in their midst. And all that I show you, the form of the tabernacle and the form of all its furnishings, thus shall you make it. And they shall make an ark of acacia wood, 2.5 cubits its length, and 1.5 cubits its width, and 1.5 cubits its height. All right, well, the people who to build the tabernacle, the Hebrew mishkan, tabernacle, literally means abode, that I shall abide in their midst. It is, of course, a portable sanctuary to be carried from encampment to encampment in the wilderness. And provisions are made for carrying the ark. And that's what he was talking about, building an ark of acacia wood. And that, of course, is the most famous ark of all. All right, it's the Ark of the Covenant. Just say it. You think of Indiana Jones, the Ten Commandments, the earthly abode of God, power. All right, now Moses has been summoned to the top of the mountain. God's giving a list of instructions, and he says to Moses, I'll have to show you the plans. They're simply too complex to follow. Okay, friends, it's not so complex. This is about the structure of our souls. We build and carry the tabernacle in our hearts. Now, they are talking about the actual tabernacle that was built, but we still carry the tabernacle in our hearts. Yes, it would be nice to have the original and all the pieces that had disappeared by Second Temple times. The ark, the menorah, the tabernacle. But we carry in our hearts the place for God and to honor him and to build these things. We willingly always donate for sacred purposes. You never give me your money. You only give me your funny paper. And in the middle of negotiations, you break down. I never give you my number. I only give you my situation. And in the middle of investigation, I break down. Out of college, money spent. See no future, pay no rent. All the money is gone, nowhere to go. But oh, that magic feeling, nowhere to go. Oh, that magic feeling, nowhere to go. And it is a magic feeling that you get, my friends, when you donate for a sacred cause. So let's now, continue with the incredible building that's to take place. You shall make 2 cherubim of gold. Hammered work you shall make them. The 2 edges of the cover. Make 1 cherub at one edge and 1 cherub at the other edge. From the cover you shall make the cherubim at both its edges. And the cherubim shall spread wings above, shielding the cover, their wings, and their faces toward each other. Toward the cover, the faces of the cherubim shall beam. And you shall set the covering upon the ark from above. And in the ark you shall set the tablets of the covenant that I shall give you. And I shall meet you there. Speak with you from above the covering between the 2 cherubim that are on top of the Ark of the Covenant, and all that I shall charge you regarding the Israelites. Now, the Hebrew cherubim, it's derived from a root that suggests hybrid or composite, and perhaps also steed. And we first came across it in Genesis when the cherubim were set to guard against Adam and Eve returning to the Garden of Eden. And these are fearsome winged beasts. Think of the Egyptian Sphinx that figure in poetry as God's celestial steeds and are here to serve as his terrestrial throne, enthroned upon cherubim, being an epithet for the deity. If you've ever seen the picture of the gates of Babylon in the British Museum, yes, they are the original gates. They have these hybrid steeds carved on them. They're incredible to see. So if you don't get a chance to get to London and see the originals, take a look on Google and see the picture. Now remember, Moses has disappeared into the cloud on the mountaintop to commune with God. That moment in the story is marked by the people's fearful distance from the fiery divine presence up above and the daring closeness to one man, Moses, the intercessor to the deity. Against this background, the architectural plan for the tabernacle and its decor offers a reassuring antithesis. We get this massive instruction, and people have spent so much time trying to recreate the building of it. Now, the Tanakh reports that the tabernacle is in fact brought to the temple on the day of its dedication. We could read that in 1 Kings 8:4. The Talmud reports that it was in fact stored beneath the temple. The ancient historian Josephus says that the effect of the cherub's wings in the temple was to appear like a tent. And Psalm 61:5 says, I'll reside in your tent forever. I'll conceal myself in the hidden place of your wings. So all of these references to what the people saw, the great tabernacle. Now, Book 1 of Chronicles, 9:23, refers to the temple as the house of the tent, Beth Ahochel. And it speaks of the tabernacle, of the house of God. Now, what this means is that the temple was not just a successor to the tabernacle. The tabernacle, revered as the ancient channel to God, was actually located inside the temple. So all the laws in the Torah that we're going to be reading that command that something be done at the tabernacle applied as long as the first temple stood in Jerusalem. By the time of the temple's destruction in 587 before the Common Era, the tabernacle and all of its contents, the ark, the tablets, they all disappear from the Bible. They're never mentioned again. Now, the rabbinic tradition is that the presence of God, which is known as the Shekinah, which, by the way, has the same root as the word for tabernacle, Mishkan, was in the first temple, but was not in the second temple. So it had disappeared. The disappearance, my friend, contributes to an impression of growing distance from the original feeling of a direct connection with God in the Hebrew Bible. Yes, the world is sacred. So is everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish, celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them, live free, be free, honor your freedom, be well, be happy, be blessed. Build that tabernacle in your hearts. Share and honor the light. All who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone. And end to terror and hatred. Remember, friends, we are a community. We learn together, we celebrate each other, we love each other. We share this ride together, men and women equally. So let's send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. We all do need it. And please do learn to forgive, learn to love, including and maybe especially yourselves. Open your hearts, honor the relationships of your life. Tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have. Enjoy your journey, my friends, because we take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our effort to grow, to learn, to be, to love. So please do love. Now, bless you all. Have an incredible week, a week of love and light, a week of peace, a week of miracles. Examine your intentions. Use them to imprint your will on the universe. We set in motion all that happens in our lives. It is our intention, our Kavanah, our cause, our effect. Everything is linked. As I've said, you always have time to forgive and to be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what's good and bad. So acknowledge what you've done wrong to yourself, to God, and to any person you've wronged. Ask forgiveness. But do so with sincerity, accountability, and vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you as you learn to be forgiving and compassionate, because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace, my friends, is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people in the world as they are? Can you accept life as it is without trying to control it? If you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. So do not stop your journey. Do not stop moving towards your promised land. It is your home. Keep on dreaming, keep on being, keep shining, keep sharing, keep teaching. Keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear, follow love, because it's always in front of you. And remember to have faith, an unwavering adherence to principle, just as I have faith in the principle of love in all of you. Act with purity of heart and mind. Despise none, defraud none, hate none, cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. May all people know peace this year. May you nurture kindness and love everywhere you go, and work to be present in the body. Expand your heart, quiet your mind, because the deepest source of real power, it lies in consciousness, my friends, in the ability to be mindful, aware, to be present in all life circumstances. So make the most of your time in life. Continue to touch and transform lives around you, because you're never alone. You're forever blessed and have the ability to bring blessings to everybody you meet. Health, love, and renewal to everybody you come across. We're all energy, and energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. Your words are your power to transform. Embrace love, not fear. Forgiveness, not anger. We're all connected. We're all part of a greater whole. Be there for someone, because someone will always be there for you, whether you know it or not. And continue to explore faith and belief and what it means to you and you alone. And never accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel others have felt, whatever you've experienced, others have too. We share together, we learn together, and we help each other, because we are each of us trying to find love and acceptance and support. We all have or could have that special someone in our lives, so find them and tell them what they mean. And remember, you're never alone on your journey to your promised land. Watch your words. They hurt you, they heal you, they imprison you, and they free you. And the holiday of freedom is coming up. Keep forgiving those you need to forgive, and keep asking forgiveness from those you need to ask forgiveness of. And listen to the voice of God as he, she, it, whatever you want to call, talks to you. And please spend some time with family. Get to know them, because they are important parts of your life. And give because you want to give, not because you're being pressured to give or shamed into it. And if you can only give one thing, my friends, give love, because that is the true currency of life and of the soul and of our hearts. Love is all there is. Makes the world go round. Love, and only love, can't be denied. No matter what you think about it, you just won't be able to do without it. Take a tip from one who's tried. You cannot do without love, my friends. You do without money, you cannot do without love. Now, thank you for joining me. Get ready for Purim. Think of who you want to be. And I'll see you all soon. Shabbat Shalom and blessings to you all. Take care.